Don't just boil corn and eat it the usual way. With the same ear of corn, you can make a creamy homemade corn drink, a golden corn cake, and a surprisingly delicious meal with a flavor far more special than ordinary boiled corn. The best part? Almost nothing goes to waste. Even the corn silk and corn cob can be transformed into something delicious and useful. This simple farm-style recipe has been loved for generations, and once you try it, you may never look at a fresh ear of corn the same way again. First, remove all the outer husks from the corn. It's nice to know that we see each other all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's great to see your support. Don't throw away the corn silk just yet. Keep the corn silk that is still soft, silky, and clean, and remove only the strands that have become dark and dried out. Few people realize that corn silk not only has a naturally mild aroma, but has also long been used by many people to make herbal drinks. Next, we'll remove the corn kernels. Many people use a knife to cut the kernels close to the cob, but this method is time-consuming and can easily crush the kernels. Today, I'll show you a simple trick that makes removing corn kernels much faster. First, hold both ends of the ear of corn and break it in half. Then, take a pair of scissors and insert the pointed tip into the center of the corn cob. Gently twist the scissors a few times to the left and right. You'll see the cob naturally split into two halves, exposing the rows of kernels. At this point, you can simply use your hands to easily separate each row of kernels from the cob. The kernels stay plump and intact without being crushed or losing their natural sweet juices. Let me show you one more time. Insert the scissors into the center, twist gently, and pull it apart. Simple, isn't it? It takes only about a minute to remove all the kernels from an ear of corn. If you look at the cob afterward, you'll notice it's very clean, with almost no kernels left behind. But don't throw the cob away yet. It's actually the part that most people waste. Once all the kernels have been removed, rinse them thoroughly and place them into a pot. Next, add a small amount of salt. Don't underestimate this step. A little salt won't make the corn water salty. Instead, it enhances the corn's natural sweetness, making the flavor richer and more delicious. Then, pour in enough water to cover the kernels. Turn on the heat and bring it to a boil. Once the water starts boiling, reduce the heat to medium-low and continue cooking for about 5 minutes. This amount of time is just enough for the kernels to become tender, while releasing their natural sweetness and aroma into the water without losing their freshness. If cooked for too long, the kernels can become overly soft, lose their naturally crisp sweetness, and some of their flavor may be diminished. While the corn is cooking, let's wash the corn cobs and corn silk. Then place them on a plate and set them aside for later use. After about 5 minutes, you'll notice the sweet, distinctive aroma of corn filling the kitchen, a sign that the kernels have reached their perfect texture and flavor. Turn off the heat, remove the corn kernels from the pot, and let them cool slightly. Don't pour out the corn cooking water just yet. This flavorful liquid is actually one of the most valuable parts of the entire corn, and we're going to use it to make a delicious drink next. Now, add all of the reserved corn cobs and corn silk to the pot of corn water. Continue heating until the water comes to a boil, then reduce the heat and let it simmer gently for about 10 minutes. At this point, some of you may be wondering, why not simply throw away the cobs and corn silk? The truth is, these are two parts of the corn that many people discard. even though they still have plenty to offer. Although corn cobs are not as nutritious as the kernels themselves, they still retain much of corn's natural aroma and sweetness. As they simmer, those flavors gradually infuse into the water, making it richer and more fragrant. Corn silk, on the other hand, has been used for generations to make herbal drinks. It not only has a pleasant, delicate aroma, but also contains natural antioxidants, along with small amounts of vitamins and minerals. In traditional folk practices, corn silk tea has long been enjoyed as a refreshing beverage. With this simple step, we're able to make use of nearly every part of the corn, turning what would normally be discarded into something flavorful and useful. After 10 minutes, remove the lid. A cloud of steam carrying the sweet, gentle fragrance of corn immediately fills the kitchen. The aroma alone is enough to make the whole room feel warm and inviting. By now, the flavors and beneficial compounds from the corn cobs and corn silk have fully infused into the liquid. Remove and discard the cobs and corn silk. What remains is a clear golden corn infusion with a naturally sweet flavor, perfect as the foundation for the nourishing drink we're about to make next. Now, add half of the boiled corn kernels into a blender. Next, pour in 200 milliliters of unsweetened fresh milk. The milk not only increases the nutritional value, but also gives the final drink a light, creamy richness and a more pleasant aroma. Next, pour in about 1 liter of the corn cooking water. This is what gives the corn milk a deeper, more natural flavor compared to using plain water. Then add honey or sugar, depending on your family's taste. Finally, add 1 scoop of cooked rice. This is a small secret that many people don't know. The starch in the rice blends with the corn during blending, helping the corn milk achieve a naturally smooth, slightly thick texture. It also enhances the creamy mouthfeel without needing extra milk or cream. Turn on the blender. As the blades spin, each corn kernel is fully crushed and blended together with the milk and corn water. I usually blend for a few extra minutes to make the mixture as smooth as possible. This way, it can be enjoyed without straining, while still feeling very smooth and pleasant to drink. After blending, open the lid. A sweet aroma of corn and milk immediately fills the air. However, you may notice some foam forming on the surface. Simply use a spoon to gently skim off the foam. At this point, the creamy and nutritious corn milk is ready. Pour it into a glass and enjoy it warm, or chilled if you prefer. If you like a restaurant-style silky texture, you can strain it through a sieve. Personally, I prefer keeping it as is to retain all the fiber from the corn kernels, which makes it more nutritious and supportive for digestion. This corn milk is naturally sweet, aromatic, and very easy to make, yet rich in nutrients. Both adults and children love it. Prepare a bottle and store it in the fridge, or take it with you to school or work. It's incredibly convenient. Next, with the remaining half of the corn kernels, we will make corn pancakes. Crack 1 egg into a bowl. This is the heart of the recipe, giving the pancake natural binding and a light, rich flavor. Next, add 40 grams of cornstarch. The starch helps the mixture thicken and creates a beautiful golden crust when fried, without falling apart. Then, pour in 1 tablespoon of fresh milk, just enough to make the batter smoother and to enhance its signature creamy aroma. Now, mix everything well. Stir until all ingredients are fully combined and the mixture becomes thick, smooth, and slightly pourable. This is the perfect consistency for frying. Place a pan on the stove and add a little cooking oil. Use a brush or paper towel to spread the oil evenly across the pan. This step is very important because it creates a natural non-stick layer, helping the pancake hold its shape and look perfectly round. Now slowly pour the corn mixture into the pan. Spread it evenly into a thin layer. Turn the heat to low and cover with a lid. The steam inside will help the pancake cook evenly from the inside out, while keeping it soft and moist. Cook for about 10 minutes. At around the 6-minute mark, sprinkle a layer of cheese to create a rich, melty texture. Then add a little black sesame for aroma and visual contrast. Cover the pan again. By the end of cooking, the cheese will melt gently into the pancake, while the bottom becomes perfectly golden and crisp. And finally, the golden corn pancake is ready. Where are you watching from? Please leave a comment to let me know. Just cut it open, and you'll see a soft, moist interior with juicy corn kernels, while the outside is lightly crisp, naturally sweet, and pleasantly rich. It's a simple dish, yet so satisfying that you'll want a second or even third piece without stopping. Perfect for a quick breakfast, a light snack, or anytime you want something both healthy and irresistibly delicious. With the first bite, you'll hear a very soft crack from the thin outer crust. Not a hard crunch, but a gentle crisp layer breaking apart in your mouth. Immediately after, the soft and moist interior spreads across your tongue. The egg and milk mixture creates a light, creamy richness that almost melts slowly as you eat. The corn kernels remain juicy, giving a slight pop of natural sweetness with every bite. The cheese doesn't overpower. Instead, it melts quietly, leaving a lingering buttery richness at the end. The toasted sesame adds a warm, nutty aroma that makes the flavor feel deeper and more comforting. What's interesting is that this dish never feels heavy. The more you eat, the more the natural sweetness of the corn stands out, blending with the egg and milk into a perfectly balanced experience. Crisp, soft, creamy, lightly sweet, nutty, all in one bite. When paired together, the corn pancake and corn milk become much more than a simple meal. They create a warm and comforting experience that delights both the senses and the palate. As you alternate between the pancake and the corn milk, you'll notice a perfect balance. One is sweet and silky smooth, while the other is crisp and rich. These contrasting textures and flavors complement each other naturally, creating a truly satisfying combination. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you find the video interesting, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your relatives and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.